All right, Coach, I know that you set the tone the first week of practice. Now you're getting into the latter part of week two. Stacking days was a message that you delivered to your team today. What exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, we got to keep stacking chances. Nothing in life is guaranteed, but every day you come out here, you give yourself a better chance to perform with more execution, more consistency. They've done a phenomenal job. I mean, I don't know if I've been to a camp where you get 7, 8 practices in and you're not upset that they were kind of dragging one day. I mean, they've done a really good job of coming out with the right mindset. Obviously, bodies are tired. Guys have, run a bunch, and guys have done some things to tire their bodies, but their minds are still sharp. They're still with the same energy. They're still with the same intensity. And like I told them today, we're just stacking chances. That's all we're trying to do is stack chances, stack really good days. And then when it comes time to get a deposit from those good days in the season, we'll have a lot stacked up. So a really good day, and we're just going to try to do the same thing tomorrow.
No, the adrenaline coming into the season, that first week, you can expect high energy. How do the guys maintain it? Is it more mental or physical as you get into week 2, week 3, as you look at that in between before the season opens?
Yeah, I think if you just focus on the process and not really, hey, we got a game in 20 some odd days, or we got a game, home game, or whatever it may be, if you just focus on, I got an opportunity to go out and get better today. And I know that's going to help me down the road from an execution standpoint. I know that's going to create value for me. I know it's going to help my team. I know I'm going to have an opportunity to move up the depth chart or around the depth chart, whatever that may be. So we've just talked about just focus on the process, focus on today. It's all we can control. Focus on today's practice, today's meetings, and then get corrected and come back tomorrow. When you start looking at 20 days or 24 days or 23 days, yeah, the excitement builds up, but then you start saying, man, 23 more days of this, and you start to kind of throttle yourself down. And we've just tried to focus on, give me everything you got today. Trust that the process will have you physically, mentally, emotionally ready when we do get to a game. But give me everything you got today. See if you can repeat that tomorrow.
Obviously, a special week here. NFL veteran Chan Gailey was here. Talk about your relationship with him and what it means to your team to have Chan Gailey present and for the coaching staff as well to be able to pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of my mentors. Obviously, when I was with the Buffalo Bills, he was the head coach. He gave me an opportunity to work in the NFL, and he gave me a lot of responsibilities, and he helped me grow. So whenever he gets a chance to come back, I ask him, what do you see? Obviously, he's been a head coach at multiple levels for a lot of years. So there are things that veteran coaches see that I may not see because I'm in it. He kind of sits and looks around, he evaluates everything, and not as a, hey, you're doing this wrong, doing that wrong. He's been here for the last 3 years. So he's able to say, hey, your team's improved. I think this position's getting better. I think this position's better than it was last year. And it's tough when you're in it to see some of those things, but having him around, having that experience, he spent a lot of time with the quarterbacks and the offense, just having, the ideas, to bounce ideas off of, give us some insight on, hey, I see this happening, be prepared for this, or hey, this is really good, this may come down the road. It's invaluable. His mentorship to me as a coach, to me as a person. He reminded me the first day he got here. I asked him if he was going to, coach in the USFL or get back in it. He said, absolutely not. He said, remember, coaching is what you do. It's not who you are. And sometimes we get so tied up in it, and we got to remember there are other things. There's other parts of your life, family, spiritually, everything. So just having him around and kind of being that voice of reason or that voice of calm has been really good.
Well, a lot of these guys have NFL dreams, and whether it's Coach Gailey coming out here or whether it's, a lot of NFL scouts from day one have sort of matriculated to Jones C. Edwards Stadium to see your team. How does that speak to not only the guys' dreams, but also to your program and getting on the level you want it to be at?
Well, I think it just says the process works. We asked these guys when I first got here in January 2 years ago to trust the process, and we would help them create value for themselves. And if they bought fully into everything we were asking them to do, from academics, player development, weight room, football, study habits, socially, that it would create value, and then they would be able to chase their dreams. And I told every recruit that we've signed or brought in through the transfer portal, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to help you chase your dreams. And 99% of them say, well, Coach, I want to play in the NFL. Okay, well, trust the process. Here's what you got to do every single day, and the opportunities to come. And I think when they see all the scouts coming through, see NFL coaches around, and see that vibe, I think it starts to get them to understand, hey, this is true. And now I got to do a little bit more trusting of the process. And I think what it does is also validates what we're saying. It's hard to say, hey, we can get you to the next level if, you don't ever see anybody get to the next level, or you don't ever see any representation from the next level. So I think it just helps validate. Kids today are visual, so they got to see it. So I think anytime they get a chance to actually see tangible evidence, it helps.